Hi, welcome to my channel and thank you for playing this video. Our topic today is what do I do if my family and friends think I'm crazy for using Feng Shui? But before we start, please watch this clip.
Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment, or like this video. Now back to our video.
Alright, welcome back. Our topic today, once again, is what do I do if my friends and family think that I'm crazy for using Feng Shui? But before I dive in, I'd like to shout out three members of my group. It's Agustin Eve, Noira, and Salim. Thank you for inspiring me to create this video. This is actually a very common issue, no? When we're starting to use Feng Shui in our life, there are a lot of naysayers and judgment that you may encounter, and people might even think that you're crazy. So, but before I give you the tips that I actually did, I'd like to give you my background. Okay, so I started following Feng Shui in 2008, and the master that I was following back then, or ever since actually, he is the only master that I'm actually following, is Dato Joey Yap. And the first thing I did was I actually bought his book. This is the Feng Shui, and it's all about classical Feng Shui. And when I practiced this, a lot of things happened in my life. I created a business, I made it grow, and a lot of things. And then finally, come 2016 or 15, I forgot. I had the fun to finally hire a Feng Shui master. Unfortunately, I hired a master who wasn't really a master. He was practicing the charms. Anyways, that's besides the point. So a lot of things happened after. I lost a lot of clients and so on and so forth. But that actually, because of that adversity, of that crisis that I had, that pushed me to actually to study Chinese metaphysics on my own. I was like thinking, okay, why hire if I can learn it myself? So that's what I did. For 2 years, I attended almost all the courses of Dato Joey Yap, but I focused more on Bazi and Feng Shui and Human. And so for the next 2 years, I did this. But the thing is, I never told my husband, because the first time I actually mentioned this to him, we actually fought a lot, and I was judged for being crazy when I was studying. So I kept this a secret. The only time he found out was when I needed to go to Singapore so I can finish the course. Okay, so that's basically the my experience. And then eventually I told my friends and family that I'm finally a Feng Shui consultant. Of course, the first reaction was I got a laugh from someone, and then they gave me that look that, yeah, you're crazy. They just couldn't say it, but I did. I'm still getting some judgment up to now, but they're lessened. Okay, so the question now is, what did I do to rise above this naysayers, this judgment? What I did was I knew that even if I talk for 24 hours straight about Feng Shui and what it does and what it can do, even I keep on talking to them, I know that I'm not going to change their minds. So the only way for them to change their minds towards Feng Shui or Chinese metaphysics in general was they needed to see the transition from me. They needed to see that my life changed, improved, my perspective towards life became better, and so on and so forth. I needed to be an example of the benefits of using Chinese metaphysics and Feng Shui. And because, of course, I was practicing, I'm still practicing, and practicing Feng Shui diligently on a yearly, daily, monthly basis, you name it. Of course, my business grew. I am loving myself more. I'm learning a lot more. I'm improving on my skill set, and I'm constantly growing. And eventually, they would witness that. They would feel that. They would see the transition. And the fact that I was already getting a lot of clients, the more they became curious. Eventually, they became my clients. So the ones that were laughing at me, gave me that look, or thought I was crazy, are now my clients. So if ever that you actually are going through this moment wherein you're getting this judgment because you're using Chinese metaphysics as a tool that would help you, guide you, don't hate them, just use them as an inspiration to push you to practice Feng Shui better, so that when you finally transition into this individual that that inspires them, they'll become curious. They get to wonder what's your secret, what are the tools that you're using, because they might want to have some, and so on and so forth. Let them be, let them hate all they can, long as you continuously focus on yourself, focus on your improvement, focus on changing your life and making it better. They eventually become curious and eventually will ask you, and then the respect is going to be gained back, and yes, the curiosity will be there, and they'll ask questions, and then eventually they'll hire you, okay, to be their Feng Shui consultant. So that's my advice. If you're going through this moment where you're practicing Feng Shui, practicing Feng Shui is really cheap. It's not really expensive, and you can do with this silently. So continue to focus on yourself, improving. And my advice is to join groups that have the same mindset, that sees the benefit of Feng Shui. Focus on the people that wants to listen to you than the ones that hate you. Okay, eventually they'll change. But what if they don't change? You still get the naysayers. Then basically, these are not the people you should focus on, because these are not your potential clients, and they will never be a client. So focus on your students, or focus on your family members that are really curious about it and wants to hear about it, and who wants to use the tool. You focus on that community and focus on that group, and eventually you'll forget about them. You'll forget the naysayers, you'll forget how they judged you, and so on and so forth. And just don't reciprocate it with with hate. Don't reciprocate it with hate, because it doesn't do you benefit. It depletes your energy, and it removes you from the focus in transitioning and improving yourself. Okay, so that's my piece of advice. If you're going through this, just use this to continuously improve yourself, and you don't have to convince them. It's not your fault that they have a different perspective. It's not your fault that you believe in it and they don't, and it's not your responsibility to explain it to them. What they want, and what you should do is just show them the transition that you have. You became better, you became a better individual, and you 10x your life in a nutshell. Okay? Alright, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something today. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.